we're going to talk about pull-ups. It's one of my favorite things to do and learn. Pull-ups been a big part of my strength journey. I love them, but they're also really hard, really fatiguing, but they're really cool. I think everyone should do them. Okay, we're going to train biceps, back, rear shoulders, traps. Going to get a bit of your core involved. It's going to really help your posture, and it's going to make you very functionally strong and athletic. Nearly all athletes, sports people that do strength and conditioning probably have a pull-up in some form, if not multiple of them. In terms of being a good indicator for longevity, you want strong shoulders, strong core, good arms, strong elbows, wrists, grip. There's really no downside to a pull-up apart from overdoing it. So let's talk about 3 pull-ups that I think you should learn. Let's talk about 4 actually. I'm going to add an extra one in there. The first one, and probably easiest in my opinion, is the close grip. So this is going to use the lats and the biceps. It's going to be easier because you can use a lot of bicep. Pull, clear, all the way down, bang. Next, you've got pronated, which is just outside the shoulders, and it's my hands facing away from me. This is going to work your traps, rear shoulders a little bit more. Clear, all the way down. Then we've got neutral. So you're going to hold a neutral grip, wrists at the side, pull all the way down, and then we've got wide, outside the shoulder, lots of lat, lots of trap, probably the hardest variation of them all. There you go. And you know what, you could do a 5th one, which is a ring pull-up. You start wide, and as you pull, you twist, and then you reverse it and twist back. Really nice one for the shoulders because you can actually twist your grip with the rings. We'll talk about rings later, but I like to use rings for the pull-ups for a few reasons. Now, let's talk about range of motion. For me, and for most people, a good pull-up involves locking out. What does that mean? When you're in a pull-up, start from the bottom, start from a dead hang if you can, pull all the way up, drive those elbows down, hold it, chin has cleared the rings or the bar, control it all the way down. This bit here, this little lockout, there's a lot of stretch right now in my lats. A lot of stretch in my biceps having to get out of this position. My abs are engaged, they're also stretched out. The latest science and also the latest data just says the more stretch you get in exercises, the more muscle growth there is. And in terms of injury prevention, training a full range of motion is going to reduce injury in the shoulder, bicep, back. As long as you can tolerate the training, it's not too hard for you, you can focus, your form's good, you're not murdering it, you should see really good gains in form, technique, muscle growth and mobility from doing full range of motion pull-ups. So always lock out if you can. Some people can't lock out to start with, that's absolutely fine. We'll talk about a few ways you can help improve the lockout. Next thing, tempo. I always think this is a really hard exercise. Get up quick, get up with intent. Think about driving your elbows all the way down to your hips. Up quick, clear, pause at the top. All my upper back, traps and shoulders are firing up here. Biceps are going, and then on the way down, slow control. You're building muscle on the way down as well as on the way up, but slowly controlling it down is going to do a lot of good for your tendons and muscles and help you control the movement a little bit better. So locking out, quick up, pause at the top, slow down. World's not going to end if you don't do it like that, but I found it produces really good results, and then you can play around with the tempos and do as many pull-ups as you want or quick ones once you first got a pause and locked out. Next thing, breathing, ab bracing. This isn't a golden rule, but the way I like to teach, breathe out when you do the thing. So if I'm going to pull or push, I'm going to breathe out, release the energy, and then I'm going to breathe in as I come all the way down. And because my tempo was very slow on the way down, I could take a big breath in to prepare me to breathe out, release. A bit like in martial arts, I believe they tell you in most martial arts to breathe out as you punch, kick, exert energy. Secondly, core. Helps me to breathe out personally if I breathe and then tense. When you're down here, think about pushing your abs out and down, or just engaging your core as you pull, and then you're going to get some free ab and core work in the pull-up. It's good to not have this switched off. Let's also think about legs. You can do a pull-up with your legs chilling like this. It's not the end of the world, people do it. You can get a little bit more lat and back action if you poke your chest out. Hit the pull-up with an arched chest. Some calisthenics people prefer to do it legs together, and some people say this is the most efficient because you can tense your core a little bit better and you're sort of in this banana shape, legs forward. Practice both, find which one works for you. I used to do it a lot with straight legs to tense my abs, but more recently I've enjoyed just letting my legs dangle and just sending it with the back and biceps. Next, rings versus bars. So I'm using thick rings. Rings, there's normally two types of them. Thin ones and then the thicker ones. The thicker the grip of whatever you use, the more demand it puts on your wrists, forearms, and potentially a bit in the bicep. If you train with thick equipment, thick handles, thick bars, you will get strong grip, strong forearms, you will get stronger. And then the moment you're in an environment where you're using thinner bars, thinner rings, it's a lot easier. So I like to kit out this gym with harder variations of things. And the thick rings, although they're quite tough to use, once you get used to them, the moment you encounter the easy ones, oh, you're flying on them, okay? It's also just really good to have strong forearms and grip. So it's a personal preference thing, but I would use thick rings. And as I demonstrated earlier, you can actually do a ring pull-up, getting a full twist on the rings for nice shoulder mobility. Whereas if you've got a bar, you're stuck on the bar and doing the grips. Not the end of the world. The good thing about the rings as well is once you become good at pull-ups, you can start doing things like skin the cats, getting full mobility. L-sits, you can then muscle up into a dip. There's loads of stuff going on. Fun is the key word. I know most people don't like exercise, but rings are fun and they're good value. Paid like 30 quid for those, and you can prop them up on a strong tree branch. Really recommend you get rings, but another time, another video. But you can use a ring or a bar. World's not gonna end. Next thing, let's talk about how we can get there. So if you can't do any of those pull-ups, one place I think you should look at if you've got a good base level of fitness already in the gym, that is vertical pulling and rowing, is eccentric training. So find a step, preferably one that's underneath. Start at the top and just practice lowering yourself down. 5 to 10 seconds, lock out, relax. Back up onto the step, start chin above the ring or the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is building the pull-up in reverse. So we're laying the foundation, building the muscle on the way down. Very good for the elbow tendon, the shoulder. You can really focus on your core and you can focus on building the pull-up in reverse. The hardest part is the explosive bit, getting up. So you might need a few weeks, maybe months of eccentric training. 3-4 sets of 5. You could do this 3-4 times a week. Give yourself a day's rest at least, maybe 48 hours. And practice all the grips. Easiest, bit more hard, wide would be hardest. And you're really going to feel a lot of development in the back, shoulder, bicep. Alongside eccentrics, you can practice a variety of hangs to see where you benefit most in the pull-up journey. So if I'm someone that struggles with the lockout, the bottom of the pull-up, I'm going to practice dead hanging, where I just literally hang like this without doing anything. For an amount of time, time it, try beat it week to week. Or I'm going to do active hangs, where I really pull with my chest and shoulders, see my arms are straight, and I practice using my scapula to start the pull-up. Because the pull-up isn't a vertical movement, it's a bit of a C shape. You sort of push and pull away on a bar, and you end up going around it, okay? So if I go this way, with these active hangs, I poke my chest out, pull with my scapula, and now my shoulder blades have pulled me up, down. That's 1 rep. Up, 2 reps. Active hangs, dead hangs, really good for the bottom, helping with the lockout. If I'm one that struggles with the top, maybe I've got weak biceps, upper back and shoulders, I can just do a top hold hang, where we literally just chill up here. Okay, it's going to put a lot of pressure on my biceps, back and shoulders, and it's going to teach my body to get stronger in this position. Hangs are like isometrics. Nothing's lengthening and shortening. It's all just switched on. It takes a lot of willpower because it's like planking, very hard, but can pay a lot of dividends for helping you in an area of your pull-up that you're weak at. You could also do that in the middle. So the hardest ones would just be pausing here, here, maybe holding here. But wherever you drop in an eccentric, or wherever you can't sort of get past in the pull-up on the way up, try holding hangs at those stages at the end of your workouts, and it can help just brush up and add a little bit more strength onto your pull-up journey. In terms of, you can use all grips for that as well, by the way. You can do eccentric in, wide, wide. You can do the hangs, close, wide. The beautiful thing about the pull-up is you've got all the grips, all the variations, legs long, legs down. You should never really get bored of it, and you've got so many ways to tackle and improve all the angles. If you can't do the eccentrics and you still struggle with the hangs, you're at the stage, what I would say, focus on lat pull downs on a lat pull down machine. So we're sitting down, pulling a bar to the chest. All we're doing is vertically pulling. That would set a really good foundation for you to build some muscle and learn the biomechanics of pulling before you get to the eccentrics where you're doing your weight and gravity all the way down. On top of that, you should practice some horizontal pulling, so ring rows, cable rows, machine rows, or a dumbbell barbell row, because that's going to build all the same muscles you use for the pull-up, but horizontally. You just want to accumulate strength and muscle in the biceps, the lats, the rear traps and deltoids, back of the shoulder, and the core, because all of these things jigsaw together to make the functional movement of the pull-up or chin-up. The wider the pull-up, the more lats and traps, the closer in you go, still lats, but more bicep. So you're just trying to tackle all the bases in your workouts whilst you do the thing, which is the pull-up. And for you, it could be doing the pull-up, doing the eccentric, or doing the hang, and then doing all the other exercises that build the muscles that work it. I would also suggest people work on dumbbell external rotations, Zottman curls, where we hold 2 dumbbells, we pull up, twist, and we go down, because that works the bicep, but also the forearm and elbow. And if you do experience elbow pain doing pull-ups, it's probably just a sign that you've gone a bit too far too much. So bring down your volume, do less reps, more rest, maybe take a week off, and practice on doing some Zottman curls or reverse curls, where you do bicep curls, but just pronated, hands out, and just focus on doing high reps, slow tempo with the dumbbells, and you will feel your wrists and forearms strengthening, because elbow tendon pain can just be a sign that the muscles are tired out and you've gone a little bit too far in the journey. So that's something to watch out for, but it's generally a result of going too far too soon. You just need to dial it back, rest, recover, work on some weak links in the wrist and forearm, and then have back at it. I think that's everything. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe, comment. This isn't an exhaustive amount for the pull-ups, but hopefully it's a comprehensive list that's helped you. And if you have any other questions, please let me know. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.